And Stan,
Okay.
we're
No,
seeing
I
you
got a
from the
record
nose up.
button.
I got it. It's
Record-
recording.
Record on this computer, and now
I've got
says,
I've got it recording on mine. So
okay. I think I may also have it here, but all right. One of the things that I haven't sent out, I have not been sending a lot of emails. I've obviously got, not obviously, but as usual, the crisis du jours keep popping up on me. I've had some issues with my swimming pool. I won't bore you with all those details, but I'm trying to keep the meetings as they normally have been during this period with the pandemonia here that's going on. And I'm going to try to do a board meeting. It's not this Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's next Thursday. And it would be much better if we all had microphones and cameras so that we can see each other. Well, I guess if somebody is at the meeting, just like Bob Black was, and I believe he's gone.
no, he's still there.
Is he? Okay. I took off the non-video participants, but he was not able to either. He thought he had a webcam, but I guess he couldn't locate it. And I still think he has one laptop that does have everything built in, a webcam and a microphone. But if we can have everyone with the ability to see and not have to do a chat in order to add and comment as well as voting, we could vote using the button, but we could try that. Sean Kane sent out this thing on, I think it's JIT.SI, which is no, Bob, you don't like it?
No, it's a pain. It's one of the ones that I tried, and it took me, I don't know, hours, and I got absolutely nowhere.
Well, I've had trouble with it. I haven't spent hours, and I tried it with two computers here, and I couldn't make it work. But,
yep.
It's free, and you don't even have to have an account or download or anything. It has some things that look like advantages. Google has a Google Duo.
Hangouts.
Somebody say
Google
something?
Hangouts, Stan.
No, the Hangout is different from the Duo, Mike. The Duo works only on cell phones, and it's similar to FaceTime that's on the iPhone, but it will work either on or Android phones. So I'm not sure whether that's something that we could try, having to hold the phone in front of you for a meeting, although I guess we could do it for an hour or just put it up on a stand of some sort. Another possibility.
Well, keep in mind that Zoom does work on just about every device. So, you know, for somebody that just does not have a webcam and wants to participate in a meeting where everybody else is using their computer, webcam, and microphone, they can just join the meeting with their cell phone. And you can see them because they use their the camera that's on the front side of their phone, and the cell phone microphone picks people up. In fact, one of the TechSig meetings that I was broadcasting, I actually used, if you recall, I used my cell phone and a gyro stabilized mount, and that was the input to Zoom, and it worked quite well. You can also log in with your computer and not have a microphone or a camera, dial with your telephone and log in with one of the numbers and have the phone up to your ear or talk into it, and use that as the speaker and your microphone, and then watch it on the watch the video portion on your computer. Yep.
Okay.
And all of the
we should have had Tom all do that at the last meeting, at the last TechSig meeting, instead of piggybacking off of Gary's system.
Well, I don't know what happened to any of the I group, for you non-CFCS people, we do have a SIG that we used to call it the iSig, and now it's called the Apple SIG, because there is a local FL Mug, the Florida Macintosh Users Group, FL Mug, that had been meeting at a Lucky's Market for the past several months, and then Lucky's suddenly went out of business, so they lost their meeting room. So they merged with the iSig, which was strictly for iPhones and iPads, So that's become a combination SIG. And we've had some good meetings with them. And at the last TechSig meeting, Gary Estringer, who is one of the people that's heavily Mac, doesn't use PC. So I'm specifically sent to him and a number of other people the invitation to come in at the 3 o'clock break when we were going to be switching over and ending the actual WinSig and switch over to the main meeting without a speaker. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened to them, because he did come. Gary did come to the meeting, one of the main meeting we had at the American Legion just a bit ago. No, that was the March meeting. A bit. Okay, I think that's what the things that I wanted to bring up, and let's go around the horn and see if anybody has some topics that they want to bring up for the group. Mike or Huey, I'll start with you guys, who are very familiar with what we do. Huey, you must be kind of worn down because you've had an hour and a
I've been on a Zoom, at least one Zoom meeting a day, just about every day for the last couple of weeks, with groups, and sure. Occasionally I see something on Facebook that a couple of people want to get together, and I just jump in there, and I've met some nice people, and I've had some interesting exchanges on what people are doing and how they're doing it. But it's Zoom has become a standard, or it's become an everyday thing, and there are all kinds of people using it, and a lot of churches are using it, but they don't know the security, and they're getting Zoom bombed.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are unaware, why don't you speak about what Zoom bombed is?
Okay, but I'm going to have to go to the door because there's somebody there, and Robin's not available. So
okay.
The dog's barking, so
Zoom
I'll be
bomb.
back.
Zoom bombed is very simple to explain. Somebody's throwing a bomb into your Zoom meeting, and it's usually done by somebody who's not supposed to be part of your meeting. They have access to your meeting because you posted it openly, and they somehow also can use something to guess at a meeting. And if they're lucky, they just interrupt the meeting, and then they show all kinds of stuff that we really don't want to see, okay? Adult programming and all kinds of crap. They'll interrupt it with World War II crap, the Nazi type. We went through that last Monday. It was not pleasant. It took us maybe 10 minutes to figure out how do we go through this. And I was the bouncer in that meeting. And it was a matter of, okay, you see who it was and you just got rid of them and you totally locked them out of it. Now, if you want to have a Zoom meeting, number one, Zoom has made all kinds of improvements. The security button that when you run the meeting is one of the greatest, because from it is very easy to get rid of somebody. Also, if you're like Huey had a waiting room, you more or less try to identify and only let in the people that you knew. Yep. And the other ones that you didn't know, like Huey did, he let them in one at a time. They gave them a chance to identify themselves. And if they really weren't somebody that was willing to identify themselves, just get rid of them. Better to be safe than sorry, because some of the things that we saw a week ago Monday, they weren't pretty. It's a good thing we're all adults. I would not have liked to have children at that meeting. And that's what, but it's been eliminated. If you're taking the precautions, all the things that Zoom has put in place, you shouldn't have a person coming in unexpectedly. Anything to add on that, Huey?
Just that I did lock the meeting so I didn't have to pay attention to it afterwards. Right. And how you kick them out, it's a remove. You can kick them back to the waiting room as well, and then discuss amongst ourselves if anybody knows them, and then block them as well. So there's a couple of different ways you can eliminate it. because we've got so many people coming in, we don't know everybody, and not everybody puts in their name. And that's becoming more and more important that they do that. But we don't know everybody either, because we kind of open it up and say, you know, if you're a member, come. And we don't know all the people who've been members for years, and members of other groups, because there's more and more of us. Bob, I know you're probably on more than I'm on, and I'm on a lot of them. We attend a lot of other user group meetings. Well, luckily they know you and I, but you know, if it's somebody from another user group that's coming in, there's Tony up in the corner of mine. I would know Tony, but nobody else here would, because he's a member. Was it Channel Islands, right, Tony?
In California, that's
California.
right.
Yep. So there's a lot of other user groups that are doing what we're doing, and we all kind of starved for more information and getting ideas, stealing ideas for our own groups too.
I visited Tony's group not very long ago.
And I did too.
Yep.
Well,
We
here
didn't
in
have any
Florida,
For the invite to join you.
We didn't have any problems because it was not a publicly announced meeting. That's where you have most of your problems.
Yeah.
If it gets out on Facebook or you post it on the web, that's when you're going to have people really jumping in. Outside of that, just like you can crack a password, you can also crack the numeric code to get into a meeting. And now with the use of a password besides just the meeting code, it becomes a little harder for somebody to come in unexpectedly, but it can still happen.
well, here in Florida, what happened, I guess it was just about 2 weeks ago, the schools all suddenly were not open. So they started using Zoom for teaching. So there was an incident where, first of all, 200,000 people trying to get online. So there was very, very slow, slow and too much bandwidth being used, I guess. So nobody could really use it for a couple of days. They finally got that solved. And I think it was a 4th and 5th grade math class with maybe 75 people or something on Zoom that got bombed by somebody who was able to get in, and he flashed himself. And there wasn't anybody monitoring it. I think they just shut it down. Everybody went, oh my gosh, what do we do now? So it takes an awful lot of planning and foresight you can't just jump into it. And I think it's been great that Huey has been doing this as long as he has, for the wind's sake, since he moved to Bradenton. So we have an upper leg, but that worked out quite well. But I'm looking at over on the participants, and I see where there's lock meeting, put an attendee in waiting room on entry. I don't know, how do you get into the waiting room to find out if there's
From the
anybody
waiting room, you will allow them to attend the meeting, which is what Huey had it set right from the start, that anybody who came in went automatically to the waiting room, and from there he admitted them. And you have two choices. You can either admit all, or you can admit them one at a time.
Yeah, I just don't see how to get into the meeting room, to the waiting room rather.
It's the person who runs the meeting that sets that up when they first set up the meeting.
I see. So even though you did make me co-host, I think you said?
That's not the same as a host.
Okay, I'm back. We've had two two Amazon drivers at the door, and the dog's going nuts. And Robin wasn't handy. So.
Got it. We were just talking about the waiting room and how one gets into it. If I were co-host, would I be able to have? I don't see any option to get into that right now.
Well, you're already in, but if somebody came on, you would see somebody's name saying that they were in the waiting room waiting to come into the meeting. And then you can allow them to come in or remove them or just leave them there.
Okay. All right. I think maybe what I'll do is I have the participants. We have 19 of them, and I have the list. So I'll just go down. And Ken, you're right up at the top of the list. Do you have anything that you want to share with us?
I'm trying some new software, and it hasn't worked. It's called Manycam. And what I'm going to do is jump over here and fade in my new pal here if I can. No, it didn't work. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, there it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Here's my new pal. We just got him. His name is Ringo. I should be able to also show movies on here, but I don't. Let me try one and see. It's supposed to show videos, and it's supposed to be able to hook to all sorts of things, multi-cameras, IP cameras, mobile applications, YouTube. It'll play YouTube on here. It'll go to desktop. Let's try that. Screen number. Let's see.
You may have to share your screen to be able to do that.
That might be correct. Let me see here.
Oh, let's see.
No, there it is.
Oh, we're seeing it. We see it in a little teeny box. Unless we go to speaker view, it should
Mhm.
should see you if you were.
Look at that.
Manny?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I see it. Boy, you see one inside of another inside of another.
That was me.
Yeah. Okay, but it's difficult to read.
Yeah. In fact, that's impossible, really.
It is also probably a tool that those that bomb these meetings use.
I'll betcha. I'll betcha.
Uh-huh.
It'll also do picture in picture. I haven't messed with it. I've got another one called Wirecam that I haven't messed with either. This one I was trying to hook into Facebook, and it doesn't. I haven't had any luck at all. It says what it says is I have no audio. It takes the video okay, but it says I have no audio. So
Well, the audio is being used by Zoom, so you can't have it too. Well,
no.
the software should allow you to do a couple of places. Yeah, I should be able to.
Not simultaneous, Huey.
Yeah.
What I was doing was using it by itself separately. I've been able to hook it to some things, but not to other things. In other words,
Yeah.
I've tried it on chat, and that works fine. I haven't tried it very many places because I don't connect to a lot of places video wise. But I wanted to try it because what I'd like to be able to do is I've got some people that wanted to learn Photoshop, and I'd like to be able to do that from here by just showing my other screen. So
Yeah, I bought it. I went to a trade show and they had a coupon, and I got a lifetime license for, gosh, I think it was $20 or $40, something like that. And so I have it, and I started playing with it, and I got lost. I used it many years ago, and you can have a couple of cameras. Back when I had 2 monitors and so on, it made some sense for me to try to use it. But I try to use it doing this, and Zoom seems to handle all of what I need, so I didn't do it. Ken, you weren't here during the Windows SIG. I did show that Windows has a thing like TeamViewer built into it that you can share or help somebody on a desktop within Windows 10. And so you could go to their desktop and show them, let them do it, and you tell them what they're supposed to do, or you can control their screen, and it's very easy to do. And it's one of the links on my, it was a video from Microsoft that showed us how to do it.
You
All
both
right.
have to be using Windows 10.
You have to both have to be
That
using
makes
Windows
sense.
10.
Sure, that makes sense. That does make sense. I'm going to try
That
something.
might be a better way to do it.
I'm going to try something else here. I'm not looking at my other page. Let's see what happens. Okay, is that better? No, it isn't, is it?
Well, don't forget you're one of the little screens, and if we put you in speaker mode, and it's very washed out. Yeah, a download should start automatically. Yeah, you're moving it around, but
Yeah. Can you read that better?
Zoom launcher, yeah, save
Okay.
file.
Okay, that's what's on my other screen. All
Yeah,
right.
you'll see in the recording. I don't know if you'll see it in the recording or not, because it's only going to be a little box in it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I wanted.
Yeah, but you could share your screen,
Okay.
and I don't think you have access to do that the way we've got it set up now. But
No, that's okay. I want to make sure it works in Skype, and I'll
Yeah.
try that with a friend also. That's okay. Well, that's what I had. I got another one, but I'll worry about that next time or something like that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, going down the list. Bob, did you have anything more that you would like to add, Bob? Gotcha.
You just mentioned Skype, and I used to, way back when, use Skype to do remote presentations. The problem is that Skype is so system intensive that people. Send picture of you guys. Tom Moyler.
Yeah, I just muted him.
Okay. Problem with Skype is it's very system intensive, and if you have a whole bunch of people on it, expect a hell of a lousy presentation because you go in and out, in and out. It's also one of the programs that the broadcasters seem to love, and if you've watched any TV lately, you'll see that how often their guests bomb out while they're trying to do whatever they're trying to do with a guest on there remotely.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why I did some investigating, and that's how I came to Zoom. Yeah.
Local Fox station somehow got Huey's name and contacted him. I guess that was about 10 days ago, and did an interview with him. How are the older folks reacting to being able to use the ordering online, for example, during this, the pandemic? And I was amazed because Huey gave the reporter my name, and we got together. Also, he wanted to come here, and the place was just not presentable for that. So we met at a park, and he must have spent almost 45 minutes with me, asked a lot of questions. There was a cameraman there, all to get about 1 minute onto the screen. And Huey's was about the same kind of thing, where it was relatively short. Everything that he asked, he was trying to get certain questions, I guess, and then he went back and to the editing room, and they'll keep it and use it for something else, I guess. But it was kind of fun doing it. But, interesting. And they use Zoom and for what they did with Huey, and then I'm not sure what I guess they just use their own camera and editing material to splice into their actual what they presented on screen.
He connected me with Zoom. He wanted to do that, and so the 10 seconds or so of my part of it was my Zoom picture, which you're basically what you're seeing now.
Okay, going down the list, Tony, you have anything for us?
Yes, using Zoom, I had exited Zoom, and then I had a couple of videos attached to some emails. So I went to play the video with the built-in twin UI and had sound, but just a green screen. Then I tried it with, I think it was Windows Media Player, same thing. So after I restarted, everything was good. So apparently, at least, I don't know if that was just a one-time glitch or if that always happens after you use Zoom, that your video is somehow doesn't restore itself to where it's supposed to be. Anybody else ever have anything like that?
I've not.
If you have tried to run a video or play a MP4 file or something after Zooming?
Your memory might have just gotten confused or something, but there are times with just rebooting and you're done with it.
It's no big problem, but that is just a comment. And I'm going to have to say goodbye now, and I thank Huey for inviting us Californians, and Bob, I thank you for the night. That was very helpful for me because I was putting up setting up a new computer, and very handy, very valuable information that you put out at our meeting. And I thank you once again.
Thanks for having me. You take care.
Take care, Tony. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Enjoyed meeting you. Glad you could make it. Take care. Okay, where are we?
And for those of you who miss, Tony is from Channel Islands Computer User Group in Channel Islands, California.
Okay.
Which is a nice way we all connected, and user group members, a user group member, and they all contribute and help each other. And it's Bob and I both are on several different groups meetings and The level of expertise varies from group to group, but most are almost all of them are seniors, and I would say 90% of them are novices or near novices looking for help.
All right, the next two on the participant list are Andrew and Bob Black, who don't have microphones. So is there, we could either have them call on a cell phone, or they could chat and say whether they do have anything or not. But do we have the number to give them, Huey?
It should be in the invite.
That would be good to test, because if we test it, we'll see just how well using a telephone works with the
I was going to
conference.
try it myself, and I kept trying to go to find the number, and I couldn't. So let me see if I can find it now.
I'll look too.
Let's see if I can find it. I'm looking in the.
Oh, it's 407-610-2809.
You got it. Okay.
Hang on, let me write that down. I just have to find a pen here. What is it again?
Wait, well, no, I'm sorry. I'll monitor my Magic Jack phone. Okay, that was, apparently that's not their number. It is the number. Was that yours?
I don't know what number you just.
Oh, I'm sorry. 407-610-2809.
That's one of Stan's numbers.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's my Magic Jack number.
Okay, so you can't plug that in. Okay,
No,
I got you.
I can't get that to the phone, no.
All right, I got you.
I mean, to the computer.
Right.
And somebody's calling
now.
Somebody's calling that number, but that's not the number you need.
No, it's not the right number.
Well, we were just saying Ken gave it and he didn't realize that it was my Magic Jack number, and I can't. This is my handset. The speaker's in the kitchen.
That's not what we need anyway. Let me find a number here. Hang on a second.
Okay, hang on a sec. Go ahead, Bob. Yeah.
It's not in your email.
No, it was one that I sent out to Stan, I think.
Gosh. I'll pass that along, Bob. Thank you. Okay, bye. So that was Bob Black calling me on that Magic Jack, and what he said was that his wife got a message from her doctor, and they tried to do a meeting, like a telemed meeting on using Zoom, and it did not work. Took them an hour and a half of messing around. After they got finished, he had to reboot her machine twice before he was able to get it to work again.
I got the numbers if you want them.
You do?
There's two 800 numbers, and there's two dial-up numbers. One of the dial-ups is 669-900-6833. The other one is 646-876-9923, or 877-853-5247, toll free, or 888-788-0099, toll free.
Andy, if you're there, if you'll try one of those numbers, that'd be great.
Then they have to have the meeting number and the code.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And let me jot those down.
I can give you the meeting number.
Okay.
And the code 369-152-693. And the password 468-342-07.
That's not the password I used.
That's everybody's password.
I used the one that was in the link.
That's correct.
Well, that's why it's YNHRBHDGA on and on. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's the link itself.
Yeah, that's the encrypt. That's the
I
link
used-
with the encrypted password.
Right.
Ah, okay, that's right. That makes a difference. All right. How did you get the original, the real number? Was that Bob? I'm sorry.
The real one's in the email that Huey had sent out for the
Okay.
meeting itself.
I just haven't read that one yet. All right, thank you. Those numbers are off the Zoom site, so who knows? Oh, here.
You are in the meeting now. There are 14 participants in the meeting. This meeting is being recorded. You have been put.
Huey
like
is
Huey's
attempting to
trying it.
call. Yeah.
Gonna see.
See how easy it is.
He muted himself so that we won't have an echo.
Right.
I don't see it. And it does look like Andy is still with us, but apparently he didn't get those numbers. I don't find him coming in. Well, let's not spend an awful lot of time left on that. Next,
I know Huey's trying.
oh, okay.
But he appears to be having some kind of a problem.
Well, while you're waiting, Stan, if you'd like, if I can share my screen, I can show you what the Windows Sandbox looks like with my Zoom setup.
Sure, that'd be great.
All right, let's see if I can do it.
Okay, this is Huey.
Yeah, Huey just came in with the phone.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm on my phone. You see it.
Yep.
And I don't have my headset on.
Uh-huh.
I am hearing you through my phone. I'm talking through my phone, but I'm seeing you on my screen.
How about that?
Great.
Very
A
good.
little bit of a delay, but otherwise pretty good.
Very
And the
good.
nice thing is that you muted yourself on your computer, because otherwise we would be getting an echo that's out of this world.
Yeah, because I do have a headset, so it had gone through it. But yeah, we still would have gotten some kind of a feedback.
Huey, what are you actually
do
seeing
you-
on your phone screen?
Yeah, I was
On
gonna
my
ask that
phone?
too.
Yeah. Are you seeing the person who's speaking, for example? Does it move back and forth? No.
This is all I see.
Ah, I see.
So
No, it's a
if you
telephone.
had used the Zoom app on your phone, then you would have actually joined the conference with your phone and the internet.
That's correct. But if somebody had a flip phone, for instance, they can do what I'm doing. Or if they have a home phone with just a dial on it,
Okay.
they could call in and then be watching on their computer screen to see everybody, and then talk and listen using their telephone.
Good to know.
And we're seeing another participant in the conference of your telephone number down at the bottom of the grid of participants.
That is my phone number, and then under participants, I don't see my participants list. Oh yeah, it's small here. Expand. I could go in, and I believe I could change that to more and rename. We'll call it.
But it's your 407 5700
Huey
number,
too.
so that's definitely you.
HP
You know,
phone.
it says HP phone.
Yep.
And that's not Hewlett Packard, that's Huey Poplock. So somebody that doesn't have a camera and microphone can still call in with their phone and their computer, be seeing what's going on the screen, and be listening and be able to talk by telephone.
So we'll have to get a hold of Tom Alt if he still can't make his iPad work, and let him know that next time.
But we are seeing you, and that's still the camera that you set up.
That's the camera I got on the.
On top
Yeah.
of your-
Otherwise, it would be this.
Got it.
Well, that's a different connection. So what you would see is the telephone down in the bottom. Yeah.
Yep.
You're only seeing me because that's a different connection.
Okay. Very good. Shall we move along? Tom Holden.
Okay, well,
Oh, all right, that's right. Mike, I'm sorry. You were going to show us your.
yeah, I need Huey to allow me to share my screen. He's got me locked out at the moment.
Okay, hang on. I got the phone in one hand and my mouse in the other. And where'd you go, Mike? There you are. More. Put in the waiting room. No. Make co-host. I think I have to make you a co-host. Let's see.
Okay, I got it. No, I've got it. So let me pick my screen here and say share.
I don't know how you had the ability to do it. I don't know who gave you that ability. Somebody did.
You did, I guess. All right. So what we're
No,
looking
I
at
didn't touch
is well, I'm at the moment I'm looking at my screen. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I
Let me
see it
go
too.
back.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
you're
you do
fine.
see it.
Keep going.
And
Yep.
see my mouse moving. All right.
Yep.
So, all right. So now, why am I? Oh, there we go. All right. I had to install Chrome from. Let me just close that again. So when I first started the Windows Sandbox, the only thing I had was the Recycle Bin and Microsoft Edge, and even though I guess this is the Edge that has the Chrome underpinnings to it. I assume that when you update your system, that's also what updates in Sandbox. I'm not sure. But I really wanted to go ahead and use Chrome because I have all my bookmarks and things in it. So I then used Edge to go to Chrome. I downloaded Chrome and installed it. And once I installed it, I just came up and I went to Gmail and then logged into Gmail. I had to sign in all over again. And I think I have that actually. Where are you? Okay. Now that's interesting. I'm not getting the same screen I had before I shared it. I've got meeting controls. And it's not, so maybe I can't share the screen of my Zoom.
Alt tab, maybe?
Yeah, let's try that. Okay.
You may not be able to get out of the Sandbox because the Sandbox is what's gotten you into the Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, press Alt to show and hide meeting controls. Well, they're now up at the top. And so actually, all of that, I guess when I let's see it. You're not seeing it. And now I'm right back to, and I can't show my Zoom because that's, okay. So I do have across the top, I've got my meeting controls. Let's see what it's saying more. Chat, record, hide, share. No. Okay. Oh, there I am talking. All right. Let's come this way. Let's go this way. There we go. And so I'm seeing that. I'm still not seeing my full screen. And that's everybody.
Okay. We aren't seeing anything change.
And you're not seeing anything change. All right. So I'm just literally looking at the at the control. So there's really nothing fancy to the sandbox. It just comes up as a blank, like on a new computer. And Zoom's installed. If I actually went into Chrome at this point, I think this version of Chrome will not have any. It doesn't even have the Zoom extension. So I basically went to zoom.us and I signed in and I downloaded and installed.
Yeah, don't go to that screen in case there's something that comes up that we don't want on there.
Yeah.
Mike?
And so I did all the rest of it. So I installed it as if it was a new installation.
Mike?
Yep.
Open a new tab just for a second. Looked like Zoom was on one of your choices.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Click on the Zoom button down there.
A Zoom. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, but you're already running Zoom.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just because I had installed the Chrome.
Right.
Yes.
And
When
it
I
took it
when I
automatically.
did the installation, it actually said to me, "Would you like to add the Chrome app?" And I said, "Yeah, the Chrome extension." And that's why you saw that.
Yeah, it did nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike,
But-
the logo for Edge is the old logo, so I would imagine
It is it.
it is not
Yeah.
the Chromium-based one.
But you know, with all the concerns about safety, I could do a poll right now of everybody that's online with me now here, including myself, and say, how many of you in your regular daily browsing, reading of emails and social media do it from a Sandbox application, either Sandboxy or Windows Sandbox?
Well, I do it for
Anyone doing that?
Yeah, I do. I don't
Okay,
always
Ken,
do it,
good.
but I do it, yeah. When they had that sale on virtual, I bought it. It was usually about $400 and they had it on sale. And I bought it for about half of that. And I've been using it ever since, off and on. I don't always use it because it doesn't take some of the resources that I want it to use. Because you have to literally set it up. You have to do that with the Windows Sandbox?
The Windows Sandbox will come with the basic resources that your system already has on it.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to reinstall your printer. The printer will be there. You don't have to install your webcam drivers, although for right now, the video doesn't seem to be working on the webcam, but the audio is working fine.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that you have attached to your computer that's already been installed, the Sandbox will have access to it.
Okay.
But if you browse to a site that has a virus in it, the computer won't be infected. It'll just be the Sandbox version of Windows that's infected. And then at the biggest disadvantage is at the end of the day, when you close your Sandbox, shut your computer down, the next day you got to do it all over again. So you probably have about 10 minutes of setup each day if this was going to be your normal work environment.
All right.
Now, as I'm talking, in front of me, I have two monitors. And on my left monitor is my regular Windows installation with my regular version of Chrome. And on my right monitor is the Windows Sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could just get down to a daily routine, turn the computer on, open the Windows Sandbox, set it up on the right monitor, now do whatever I want to do on my left monitor, and all my browsing and emails I should in the Windows Sandbox. You know, it's just like until we were all urged by the CDC and or our local ordinances, we didn't wear a mask when we were out and about, and now we do. So, you know, my mask is in my car, my gloves are in my car for every time I go out now. So, all right, well, that's just it's unfortunate though that Dick said earlier that the sandbox is only in the pro version of Windows, I guess. So that's too bad. Okay,
Bob,
so let's see how I
do
get.
you have a sandbox as well? Bob G,
What?
does Avast have a sandbox as well?
If you're using their secure browser, the latest version on your cell phone, it has there's in the middle of working some whole brand new stuff in it, and it will eventually also be available on the laptop or your computer. Right now, Sandbox is only available if you're using it on your phone.
Okay.
But Avast itself, as far as the antivirus goes, no, it does not have it in it. We've had some discussions of that should be a nice thing to add to it.
We had shown Sandboxy at the Central Florida Computer Society meetings. Oh, I had to think how long ago, at least 5 years ago, if not longer, when they first came out.
I've been over here 5.5 years, and it's long before I moved over here.
Right.
And in Avast secure browser, you do have bank mode, and that's basically a sandbox. And you could, of course, do everything within the bank mode, but it allows nothing else in and nothing else out. So it is really, really restrictive, specifically for your banking and shopping. That's what it was designed for.
That's good. Okay, Stan, that's me.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. And moving along, where are we next? Somebody.
I'm going to hang up my phone and go back to my headset and so on. But I proved it works, and this worked great, actually.
Sounds good. Yep, very clear. Thank you. Tom Hirsch, have you got anything to share with us?
I posted a question, and Ken Larrabee responded to it about the CDs or DVDs that have scratches on them. I found a bunch of new ones I had scratches on them, so I figured, well, I shouldn't risk it. I should just toss them away rather than try and record something on them, which might not work. So that's one question I have. Another question is, I sometimes give genealogy presentations or things like that, and I notice when I connect my computer to the projector that the size of the display on my screen shrinks significantly to the point where I cannot access some of the icons on the screen. And I'm wondering if someone knows how to do a workaround of that.
How old a projector do you have?
Oh, it varies. You know, sometimes I'm in a library. Sometimes I'm using the projector at different places. So they vary, and I don't necessarily know the age of them. Now, okay. I can use the VGA output. I also bought an add-on device that takes the USB power from the USB. It takes the audio output from the headphone jack, and it takes the video from the VGA and converts that into an HDMI, which I can route into a HDMI input.
It depends upon the screen resolution ability of the projector. If it cannot go high enough, it will dumb down your connection, so it will also change whatever you're projecting to a lower resolution, which causes the issue that you're having. So it's a function of the projector, but it also may be a function of the connection. HDMI is the best. If it doesn't have HDMI and you don't have HDMI, then you're going to probably end up going with VGA.
And I've had the same issue when I use I have one of my computers, or two of my computers have S-video outputs on them, which some projectors have. And I notice I get the same issue when I do that.
Yeah, your computer probably, what are you using, a laptop?
Yes.
And it's probably got a resolution of 1900 by 1024, something like that. And most projectors don't do that unless they're good projectors or very recent ones. So the projector doesn't have the resolution to do it. Ken, how are you doing? Are you using your, excuse me for just a moment. Ken,
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you doing that with your, the program that you were running, or are you just?
I've just got two. This is Wirecast, but it's the other one should do the same thing.
Okay, that's a way of Zoom. We're in the middle of a discussion here, but
yeah,
that's a way of Zoom bombing, and I was just wondering how you were doing it, so we would know to be able to prevent it if we had to.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, exactly.
No, it's fine. It's just sorry about that, Tom.
I'm sorry about this. I didn't mean to do it. Come on, there we go.
Okay. Tom, it really makes a difference what the resolution quality of the projector is, because you can't go higher than it. And so usually what will happen is it will force your computer to the highest resolution that the projector can go.
And it goes back to it on your screen after you disconnect the projector. Is that not correct? So you just can't see it on your laptop. You have to see what's going on the screen, on the projected screen.
Well, even on the projector screen, I cannot see some of the icons on my on the screen, so I cannot access them.
Yeah, what you have to do is lower the resolution on your computer first, get everything to fit, and then connect, so it will then have everything on the screen that you want.
All right, well, that's a good suggestion, Huey. Thank you very much. I'll try that.
Okay.
Going back to Ken, what did you do to make? Did you just on your? It wasn't the background. How did you make the video show up in your?
It's this system I'm using.
Is it Minicam?
Yeah, it allows you to cut to different ones, and I should be able to cut.
Yeah, you're there now. Okay.
You hear him now?
Yep.
Okay.
So, Bob, that's something else we got to watch out for. If they've got Minicam, they can just throw a video up in there instead of their picture.
Yeah. Well, you should be able to push me back to the waiting room or something like that, right?
Yeah, that I could do. Let's see. Let me go to the buttons here. Yeah, I can pin the video, spotlight the video, stop. I could stop your video.
Okay.
I could mute your audio, and then over in the participants, I could go over there, and then let me just hang on here.
Sure.
Where'd you go? Ken, I can go to more. Yeah, I can stop video, spotlight video, make host, co-host, allow record, put in waiting room. Yeah, or remove you.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Can you hear me over the top of the movie?
I don't hear that. We don't hear the movie.
Oh, you don't hear the movie? I can hear it here. That's interesting.
Bob, you're muted.
Crazy. I can hear it here, but you can't hear it. That's okay.
You're not sharing. You're not sharing your audio. You're not sharing the audio of the video part.
Okay, must be in the settings somewhere I haven't found.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'll cut that.
That setting isn't until you can share your screen.
Yeah.
And since you're not allowed to share your screen, you can't share the audio from that video.
You can show the video, but not the audio part. The way you just did.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, it's a different piece of software, so I'm still getting used to it. It's just something to play with. This is a free version, by the way. So if I like it, I'll buy it. But somebody said they got a great deal, $20 for a life license.
Yeah, I forgot what I paid for it.
Another one, it's about $40 a year. It has to be awful good for me to.
Yeah, let me look and see what I got to go check while we're talking here. You go ahead and talk about other things. I'll find it.
Okay. Well, who's up next, Stan?
I don't know. Who else has got something they would like to share with us?
I'll talk about a couple things if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead, Dick.
Okay. For those of you that have phones that you would like to use. Hang on a second, I got to change my. There we go, unmuted. Okay, this is an interesting gadget that I don't remember when I got it, but it certainly wasn't very expensive. If you want to put your phone in here, this thing expands. It's got a spring on it. Okay.
Dick,
yeah,
turn
I
off,
need to
turn off your
turn off
virtual
my
background.
Yeah, let's see.
Turn off chroma
Virtual
key.
background, none.
Okay.
There we go. That's better. Okay. Yeah, this thing is really kind of neat. It'll fit any size phone, usually horizontally if you have your phone in the landscape mode. It works best. But these things, you can use it as a tripod. You can hook onto something. And so if you need to use your phone and you don't want to hold it in your hand, I strongly recommend it. I think it was $20 or something like that. Really wasn't very expensive, but it's a handy, and this twists around too. So you can do all kinds of neat stuff with it. Oh, and it also has a remote. So you can put your camera on that thing and use this remote to snap pictures. So it turns out that that's pretty nice. Second thing I wanted to talk about, totally unrelated, since I'm being a very good coronavirus avoider, we have started using Instacart. Instacart is what we have available in our neighborhood, and it works with Publix, and it works with BJ's. We've used it for both. Now, it had a little rough start. We've used it 5 times. First 2 were excellent, one for each provider. The third time was a disaster. We got most of our stuff and a lot of somebody else's stuff, but we were only charged for our stuff, so I guess it was okay. And the extra thing that we got was Haagen-Dazs ice cream, so that wasn't all bad. Okay, and then the last 2 times, which was just this week, were just outstanding. We put in an order for Publix, and they said it'd be there in 2 hours, and it was there in an hour and a quarter. And then we put in the order for BJ's. They said it'd be there tomorrow. It was there in 2 hours. So I'm very impressed with Instacart. If you stop and think about it, the cost of driving to the grocery store and get your time and getting all this stuff and so forth, Instacart's a bargain. So I will recommend it very highly for anybody that would like to give it a try.
Okay, Instacart, when I tried it, I did not have, we don't have a subscription. So the one-time use, they charge you $3.99 for it. But there's also a 5% service charge and a 5% tip. And so by the time we finished, it was $20 more than the Publix order would have been otherwise.
Okay,
it was a $3.99 for delivery because we didn't have the subscription either. And the subscription is, I think, $8.99 a month if you pay for it by the year, and it's about $10, I think, if you pay each time. So either way, it's considerably more because you got to pay the tip anyway, and plus a service charge. And even if you have the yearly subscription, there is a service charge, but it may not, they say it may not be 5%. It may be less. Doesn't say it's going to be, and doesn't say what it's going to be. You don't have to pay the delivery charge of $3.99 each time. So it ended up, we paid over $20, and then Publix is expensive to begin with. And every item was more than it would normally be in the store. Not a lot, a few cents, a dime, 15 cents per item, but that also adds up amongst the other. But we got everything. It was, when the girl was pulling everything, she was texting us saying, this isn't in stock, I'm substituting this, is it okay? So a few things that they didn't have, they substituted, and it worked out pretty good. So I was happy with it, but it got expensive.
In this area, you can get Aldi's also has people in the green T-shirts going around and shopping. And I've asked them, and they have no idea what the cost will be. The people at the cash registers at Aldi's also have no idea. They say, just go online and you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's not that easy. But Publix is much the same. And their latest flyer, I noticed, saying that this is in-store pricing only. So any of the prices that they're saying are good this week only, that's not if you're shopping online. And there have been a couple of next door things where people have been complaining that they didn't get their entire order. The charge has already been made. When they went to Publix, Publix says, go to Insta, that's not our job. And the Insta people said the same thing, and they never got their money back. So they were very unhappy. So there is a bit of the Wild West about it. You apparently can't be 100% sure that if what happened, Dick, to the people who didn't get your Haagen-Dazs ice cream, for example. You got their ice cream, so who paid for that? I think they may have.
As an interesting observation, the order included their receipt. And in the receipt, it said, credit card declined.
They still shipped it, and then to you. What a hoot.
Well, guys, let me tell you my story. I use a Walmart Market. They're only a couple of miles from us. I shop on the cell phone, and if they don't have it, they tell you they don't have it. And you can let substitution or not. That's up to you. And you can select each item whether you want to substitute or not. And then you get a time from them. And I just drive down there, and they got a phone number you call from down there. I call in, they bring it up, put it in the back of my Odyssey, and drive it home. No extra charge at all. Nothing.
Is that right?
Yeah. Whatever it is, it is.
Yeah, Walmart has a 15-day free, and then after that, I think it's like $12.99 a month.
I've been using this
for delivery. For delivery.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Sure.
But yeah, I did the pickup myself, and it worked. I got there when you pull in, their app knows you're there, and it says, okay, put in which stall you're in, and there's a number in front of each parking spot.
Right.
I said, I'm in 7. It says, what color is your car? And you indicate what color it is, and then you wait till they come and they put it in the car.
Yep.
And there is no upcharge on it. And I got some things that wouldn't normally be in a grocery list. And then if you're also on my Facebook page, there's a local small chain of markets that are doing it. They print every day a list of their top 125 items plus about 25 other items. And you print it out. You handwrite it. You don't do anything online. When you get there, you hand them the sheet of paper. And by the time you get to the front of the line in your car, they put it, they say, Huey. And I said, yep. And they said, okay. And in paper bags, they had a cart with just my stuff, put it in the back of my car, and I drove away. And they only have 150 items, but almost all, I had no problem getting any of the items.
Wow.
And they're a huge farmers market. So the veggies and everything were great. They were some of the best veggies I've had in a while.
I think there's a kicker on the Walmart. I think you have to spend $50, but that's never a problem.
Yeah.
Our experience with Instacart, very satisfied. They did make some substitutions, but I was able to get all the items. And some of the items, if I go to the store, I can never get those items. Eggs was one of them. And I was able to get 36 eggs instead of getting a dozen eggs. So big difference.
It depends on what they have in stock at the time they're pulling.
Yep. I don't know if they have any special clout with getting stuff. Maybe not.
How far are you from your closest market?
Closest one is about 10 miles away. Walmart's about 15.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, he's in New Mexico. Not everything's close there.
For me, it definitely pays to have it delivered, because if you figure the wear and tear on the car and the gas and everything else, I don't care what they charge, it's still probably going to be cheaper. But I have noticed that prices, since this started, they've gone wacko. And unfortunately, I think once this ends, we better get used to those prices. The only thing that's gone down in price since this all started, price of gasoline.
And that had nothing to do with it. That's the argument between the Russians and the Saudis.
Yep. Right now, there's so much gas in this world that people, it's cheaper to buy gas than water.
And nobody can go anywhere.
But the demand is down for the gas. So people are driving less, so the demand is down.
Yeah, I paid $1.73 yesterday, but I saw at one of the Indian reservations or something, it was like 67 cents a gallon. Because they don't have to pay any taxes on it.
No tax.
Costco and Sam's have it for $1.65 in this area. But you're right; that'll probably go right back up when people start driving again. Yep. Hopefully soon.
Right now, it's a glutton with everything is totally filled up with excess, including all your tankers just sitting out to just storage spaces, and have no place to go with the gas.
Nobody's making any money.
And it's putting the domestic ones out of business.
Yeah.
It looks like Andrew and Tom Euler are saying thanks. Really enjoyed it. Had nothing more to add. So anybody else got anything?
Thank you. It was an interesting afternoon. It's better than sitting here doing nothing or watching TV.
Yep. And the only missing is a couple of beers and some pizza.
Well, you could have had the beer or the pizza.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the TechSig stand, I'll get with you to practice a little bit with Google Hangouts, and we'll give it a shot.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to stop the recording if I can remember how to do it here. Hang on. Whoops, wrong thing. Let's see. Stop recording.